Here I am at work, just kind of chilling a little bit in the break room. So if you hear some machines in the background, those are the vending machines. But Spirit gave me this message based on a message or a couple of messages I listened to this morning. And it made me think about your expectations in regards to other people. Now, I've done previous videos about this, about your expectations on other people and people's expectations on you, and how faulty they can be. And I want to speak specifically to the males in regards to this from a female's point of view. There are some of you, just some, that are looking in the mirror and you still see that 25-year-old, and you could be 60, 70 years old, and you have not embraced the changes that have gone on in your body and in your life. And what you're doing is, because you see that image of the old you, you're trying to get women that the old you liked. Now, I know society tells you that a man's supposed to have arm candy and she's supposed to have this going on and that going on, perfect body, perfect figure, and everything else. But once a woman reaches a certain age, a woman who knows herself well, first of all, she knows what she needs to improve on. She knows what she needs to address in regards to health, if she needs to address anything. She doesn't need for you to come along and exacerbate the problem or try to bully her into doing something that she doesn't want to do. And a lot of them that are sure about themselves, they're happy with what they have. They're blessed to even be here. So the next time that you decide, and I'm going to keep this a short one, that you want to have someone with a 20-year-old figure, the waist is snatched and the hips are great and the curves are beautiful and, the breasts and the whole 9 yards and the pretty hair and the pretty face and everything else. Understand that may be just all you're going to get. You may not get someone who is intelligent. You may not get someone who has your back in times of trouble. And believe me, if you're a man that's about 50, 60 years old or whatever the case may be, some of you over 40, you've been through enough and dealt with enough women to know that you need more than something to look at. You already know this. But before you pass judgment on anybody who's over 40, 50, or whatever years old, and she may have a little extra arm fat here and a little extra body fat there, or may have, a few gray hairs or anything like that, look in the mirror first, because what you're asking for in the other person, you may not have yourself. You may want somebody who has a snatched waist, but you may be looking like you're getting ready to give a birth because you've had one beer too many. Oh yeah, I'm telling the truth here. And before you talk about her gray hairs that she has in her head, address those bald spots that you're dealing with, that you're trying to cover up with 1 or 2 hairs. Go to Bosley, get a hair transplant, whatever you need to do. And the next time you want to talk about her skin not being the right color, not the color that it used to be, or not as firm and as elastic as it been, address those pimples and moles and blackheads that you've got all over your face and body. Stop asking for things that you are not presenting to the world in your partner. You're looking for things in your partner that you don't even possess. That's narcissistic behavior, because you're not even thinking about what the other person thinks of you. Maybe they look at you and figure you're not good enough. I just say this to say this. The world has a tendency to have people thinking in a way where they can ask for things that they have not earned, where they can attract things that do not match what they're presenting to the world. They think they can do that, and they can't. So before you have those high expectations of how you think a woman should look in the mirror first and ask yourself, am I presenting the image that I want in my mate? Now, I don't deal with superficiality, and this is a lesson where you need to understand that what's on the outside is not necessarily on the inside. And for those of you who haven't watched the video, It was one of my earlier ones. Empty, pretty packages. Check it out. Now, am I saying that all people on the outside have nothing on the inside? I said some. SOME. There are some people I know that have it going on the inside and the outside, and the reason why they have it going on the outside is because their inside is pure. See, what's on the inside is going to come out eventually. And for some of you men, you had it going on back in the day, but you treated people so horribly. And you went through this life doing nothing to the point where all of that evil is starting to reflect in your looks. And you refuse to see that. But you still have this mentality of high expectations, like you're deserving of something, and you have not done the work on the inside. That's another thing that needs to be addressed. So if I were you, as far as trying to judge your potential mate, why don't you just check yourself and do some work on yourself first before you approach that potential mate? Because you might be surprised on the reaction you'll get from them. It might not be a nice one. Nobody wants to be rejected, and that's what you're asking for. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go. Peace.